Okay, this is going to be a super short and fast video because I want to get back into the Oblivion Remastered. I want to start streaming and I want to actually play the game. But from everything that I've been researching by watching other people's videos and reading Reddit comments and reading my own YouTube comments, these seem to be the main changes to the Oblivion Remaster. The armor perks, the 25 and 50 switched, so you can repair magical gear at 25. That's a massive change. It will completely change the way you play the game. I don't think you need to pick armorer as a major skill anymore, and the game was a disaster if you didn't before in the regular game. Tentatively, I would say it's a good change, though now I feel like armor is just not that valuable, but maybe it is because getting the 75 is really useful, and so who knows. It sounds like you get experience from minor skills. No one will tell me how much, so I'm going to have to find out. I'm going to have to do all the work, you bastards. Attributes from level up, obviously it seems like you get 12 of them. You can split them between 3 attributes. Luck costs 4 points. Just like in the base game, it seems like it would never be worth it to put anything into luck, except maybe at character creation, putting the 5 points into it. But other than that, I don't see how that would be worth 4 attributes. And maybe late game, but it just, by that point, you have 100 skills in the ones that matter, so luck just isn't worth it. The ingredient change, changing it to be like Skyrim, where they're easier to grab and they go away after you grab them. Awesome change, probably the best change I've seen so far. I'm very excited for that. The Lord sign seems cool, though, I don't really like super defensive playstyles, but if you want to be really tanky, the Lord sign will get you there. It is very strong. Acrobatics experience doubled. Somebody linked me that in a comment about they just looked at the kit, the creation kit, whatever it's called, and it went from 0.3 per jump to 0.6, which is a big difference. It doubled. The damage formula reworked. I don't know how the damage formula is going to work. Looking at just this is the base game formula. And I think for most people, it's going to feel like a buff because before most people played with about 10% fatigue. So if they would be doing, if at max fatigue, they'd be doing 29 damage, when they played regular Oblivion, they were probably typically doing 16, maybe even 14 if they had no fatigue. Where now that fatigue is just removed in the remaster. And I don't know if this is still the same damage formula or if it's also different. This, for players who fortified their fatigue a lot, this will feel like a nerf because 29 damage compared to if you fortify your fatigue, I could double my damage by fortifying my fatigue in the base game. That seems to no longer be a thing. This column's just gone. So you're kind of always doing that same amount of damage. Is that better? Is that worse? I don't really know. I haven't played enough to really say. I'll have to get back to you on that one. But it is a big difference. You can't cast while blocking. I think that's terrible. It's a travesty. That's the worst thing I've seen so far. Agility seems to bump some melee weapon damage, like daggers and stuff. It's going to change a lot of things. I still don't quite see, if you pick marksman, I think I would still pair it with destruction and never a melee skill. I'm just not sure, because you still want strength for carry weight. It's a good change because, maybe you could be an archer who whips out a sword, but I just don't think through the way the game plays and the way you gain experience that will be a valuable or smart way to play. Next, sprint, cost fatigue. You can hold shift to sprint, and it looks like that gives you, I think, more experience while you're sprinting. They also buffed the athletics experience gained per second while running. Jumping costs less fatigue, but at no fatigue, you can't jump. So fatigue is now more of a stamina system, like in games where you run out of stamina and you can't do certain actions. In OG Oblivion or Vanilla Oblivion, you could always do everything. The game never felt different regardless of your fatigue. It just at 0 made you do half damage. So that fatigue is going to definitely play very different. Based on these settings, it looks like with Journeyman, so that's 50 alchemy skill, you'll be able to, instead of having 4 active potions, you'll be able to have 6, I think. I hope this is a typo, but they said expert is 6 as well. I'm hoping it's supposed to say 8, and then at master it would be 10. Having 10 active potions on at once is a massive difference from the base game. So if I'm interpreting this correctly, which I hope I am, I'm going to have to pick alchemy as a major skill and level it really fast. Very exciting, very interesting. Armorer will gain experience faster, making it even less important to pick as a major. Blade experience got buffed to 0.6, Blunt got buffed to 0.7, and hand-to-hand got buffed down. This is your experience gained per hit. I don't quite see the purpose in that, though maybe Blunt experience going up is good because the weapons are typically slower, so I think that makes sense. It also gives you a reason to pick Blunt, because I think Blade is just a little bit objectively better, and now I think Blunt is objectively a little bit better, except for very late game, because obviously the experience gain doesn't matter at that point. Minor buff to block, pretty important too, because block didn't go up very fast. I booted up the game to make sure my computer would not light on fire. It didn't, and I cast a couple restoration spells, and I started getting restoration skills. So there are a lot more changes to how fast skills level up. Watch my stream if you want. I should be able to tell just from memory what's leveling differently. I've played this game an absurd amount and done way more math than any human being should. There is a lot more differences. Also, if you want to leave in the comments, I need a new gaming computer, and I don't have lots of money. So if you have any tips about how to get a computer that is above the minimum requirements for the Oblivion Remaster, please just leave a comment. This isn't my wheelhouse. It's not my forte. I'm a math teacher. I teach math. I'm an Oblivion guy. I play video games. I've built my own PC a long time ago. That was before I had kids. I wasn't even married. I just don't want to do it again. I don't want to have to relearn that. So if you're a genius and you want to just tell me what to do, I will listen to you. So thanks for watching.